Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to your sixth video of this tutorial series. In this video, we are going to implement logout, then show 404 page for invalid route, then show plus message to the user, then finally create to-do table. Our authentication flow almost done. We added sign up and login. Now what we have to do is we have to add logout. So go to the auth.rs which is inside handlers folder. Then after the post login handler at the end of all handlers, add a public async function and call it logout handler. This will take session and it will return result of response and app error. Now in the last video you saw when we wanted to log out the user, we just deleted the browser cookies. But here on the server we are going to delete the user ID which is stored inside the session. Call remove on session, and then we have to annotate the type which is I32, and then the key is authenticated user ID which you already know that. Then await question mark. Now once we remove the user ID from our session store, we are going to now redirect the user to home page which is /route. Now go to routers.rs file, then first import post method. Logout route needs to be inside the protected routes, because the only authenticated user will be allowed to log out. So inside the protected routes function, before we added this middleware, add logout route. Then add post method and then the handler. And now we have to import the handler function. So go up and import from auth. Just copy that and paste here. With that in place, we can just go and run our server. Once that builds, go to your browser and go to localhost 8000. Now we have to log in first and use the registered email and password. Now when we click the logout button, it logs us out. At this moment, if we try to visit any random route, we get error. But we want to handle this and show a 404 page not found. We already created the HTML file inside pages. You can see the not found. And we will show this HTML file when the client visits any invalid route. For that, open templates.rs file. And as you probably already know that we have to now create another struct for that. We can just copy the server template and paste that, and then update the link to the not found.html file, and then also change the name to page not found template. Now we have to create the handler function. So go to public.rs file inside handlers. First we have to import page not found template struct that we just created. So import that from templates. Since we are also going to return status code, so let's import status code from Axum HTTP. And everything will be almost the same, so we can copy this home handler and paste that. Then first change the name to page not found handler. Then update the template name to page not found template. So we are going to return a tuple. The first set the status code not found, then we can return the HTML. Then call into response, then return it from inside OK. Get rid of this OK return. Now once that's done, go to routes.rs file. At the top, import page not found function. Before we added our authentication layer, then add a fallback function and then pass the reference to the handler function, which will be called when none of these registered routes matches the incoming request. Now let's go ahead and run the server. Since I stopped it, you probably won't have to. And then go to the browser and visit any random route. and we can see the page not found. Now if we try to sign up using the registered email address and a valid password, it doesn't have to be the right password, just has to be valid. Then we don't get any error. We are redirected back to sign up page, and if we check the server log, we can see we have an error log. We don't want to log this error. Instead, we want to send this error to the client, and we will use plus message to send the error. So go to auth.rs file, then go to post signup handler. After we create a new user, when we get fail query error, we are logging the error and redirecting to a sign up route. And as you already know that when the data error is fail query, we send that to the client. And now this time we are going to use session to show the flash message. So let's talk about how we are going to do that. When we want to send a flash message, we are going to store that message in session storage. Then server will redirect to some route. It could be any route, doesn't have to be the same route. And you already know that redirecting actually causes a GET request to the server on that redirected path or route. Therefore, inside the handler function of that route which is redirected, we will check for the same key that we used to store the flash message. If there is any value stored with that key, then we will get the value from the session storage and then delete that from the session storage. And after that we will pass that to the client. Therefore we can write logic inside the template and check if there is any flash message, then we can show that in a pop-up or alert dialog or something. And I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make any sense, then you will understand once we implement that. Now post signup handler take session as input argument. Now once we check if the data error is fail query error, we are now going to insert the error to the session. So get rid of this error log, then call insert on session, and then the key will be flash, and then the value is this error, which is already a string type, and we will use this key to retrieve the value, which is the error message. And then await question mark. Once we inserted the error message, we will redirect to /signup. Now that will make a GET request to /signup, which we'll call signup handler. Now inside this handler function, now we are going to retrieve the error message. Now to do that, first this function will take session as argument. Then we can call remove on session. And this function returns the value if there is any value, and it also removes the value from the store. And the key we are looking for is flash, and we have to annotate the type, which is of type string, and then await and question mark, and let's store this return value in a variable and let's call it flash. And this returns option type. We are gonna use unwrap or and give a default value of empty string. On the client, we will check if the error message that we pass is not empty, then we will show the flash message. Now we have to pass this flash message to a signup template, and signup template doesn't take flash. So go to signup template and add a public field called flash, which is of type string. Close that file. Now pass flash. Now post signup handler complaining because inside the validation errors block, we are creating a signup template object and we need to pass flash message here. So we can just copy and paste from signup handler and pass the flash message. Soon we will create a separate function to extract this logic. Now with that in place, now let's go to the templates and add some logic. So first we are gonna add a partials. Inside the partials folder, create a new HTML file and call it flash.html. Inside this file, first add a if statement and check if the flash message is not empty. And then add a div with ID flash, and then add a p tag, and that will show the flash message. Now open signup.html file. Now inside the main block, before we created auth container, add an include directive and link to the flash.html file. And you already know that this will insert the flash partial here. And with that, let's save the change and go to the browser. Then go to sign up page and submit a registered email and a valid password. and we can see our class message. And if I reload the page, the class message disappears. If we go back and go to auth.rs file, inside the signup handler, when we retrieve the class message, we also removed it. Therefore, next time when we make a GET request on /signup, we get empty string for class message. At this moment, our class message is plain text. We could customize it by adding some CSS style, but instead we are going to change it dynamically based on the class message type, like for example error, success or info class message. We will show different UI. Now first we are going to create a model for that. So open app.rs file inside models folder. Now you could create a separate file for that, but I'm not gonna do that. Create a struct called class data, and it will have two fields. First class, which is of type string, and this will hold the class message, and then the class status, the status of the message type. And then create an enum, call it class status, and which will have error, info and success variant. Now we are going to write a helper function for class message. So open helper.rs file inside handlers. Now at the top, add these three imports: session, class data and app error. Then create a public async function and call it template class, and this will take session, which is of reference type session. Inside this function, we are going to first retrieve the class message. So we can just go to auth.rs file and we can cut this and then go back to helpers.rs file and paste that. Now there is a typo, it will be session. Now it's complaining because now we have to update the return type. Now return result of class data and app error. Now just like we are retrieving class message, we are also going to retrieve class status. And yes, we are going to store that inside session store, and it will be exactly the same. So I just copied and pasted. The only thing different is the key, which is class status. Finally return the class data from inside OK variant of result. Now auth.rs already started to complain, so go to auth.rs. We have to call template class function here and store it in a variable, call it class data, then pass the class data to signup template. Then go to signup template and update the field. But first we have to import class data struct, so import that at the top. Then update the field name and the type, which is class data of type class data. Then go back to auth.rs file. Then inside the post signup handler, when we get the validation error, we also have to update the signup template. Get rid of this line. Then we can just go up and copy this and paste here. And then pass the class data to signup template. And now we have to update the class template. Go to class.html file. I'm going to copy and paste the updated code. It's very simple, shouldn't be difficult to understand. Now we are passing class data instead of class. So we have to access class field, then call isEmpty. And inside the p tag, we again have to access the class from class data to show the class message. Finally, I added two classes. The second class name we will pass from the server, so we can show different style class message. Now let's go back to auth.rs file. Then first we have to import class status. Then go to post signup handler. After we are inserting the class message, we are also going to insert the class status. So call session.insert, and the key will be class status and the value will be class status : error. Now it's complaining because insert function takes a value which is of type impulse serialized. But we don't care about that type. Instead, we wanna call toString function on class status enum and return a string. So to do that, we have to implement display trait for class status. So go to app.rs file. First import display trait from std_fmt. And then implement display trait for class status. Now we have to overwrite a function called fmt. So inside this function, we are gonna match on self, which is flash status object. Inside that, we get access to all three enum variants or arms. Now we are going to return a string slice for each arm: error, import, and success. Once that's done, we will store that return value in a variable. Let's call it flash string. At the end, return write macro and pass the parameter f and flash string. You can go and read the documentation. I didn't want it to spend too much time explaining this simple thing. Now once that's done, if we go back to auth.rs, you can see the error goes away. Now if we save that, this will restart our server. Then go to the browser and try to sign up using a registered email, and we can see the flash error message with red background color. At this moment, we can't close this flash message or remove this unless we reload the page. So go to index.html file. Outside this main block, add this script tag which links to auth.js file, which is inside static.js folder, and you can see auth.js file. And you should download the source code and copy and paste the static folder. Now go back to the browser, then again try to sign up. And now we get the flash message, and after some time it disappears. And now go back to auth.rs file. Now outside this if-let block, when the user do sign up successfully, we are gonna add another flash message. So instead of just inserting the flash message and flash status, we are gonna create a separate function, and that will take care of all this logic. We will just pass the message and flash status. So go to helpers.rs file. After we create a template flash function, create another public async function. Let's call it setFlash, which will take session of reference type session and message of type string and status of type string. And the return type will be result of unit type and app error. Now inside this function, first insert the message, and the key is flash, as you already know that, and the value is message, and then insert the status, and the key is flash status, and the value is status. Then return OK with unit type. And also update this function name. It should be getFlash. Right click and then rename symbol, and that will update this name everywhere it's used, so we don't have to manually update one by one. Now once that's done, close this file, and now outside this if-let block, call setFlash from helpers, which we just created, and pass this message, then toString because this takes a string type, then the status is flash success, then await and question mark as usual. Now comment out this code and instead call setFlash and pass the message and status. And now let's go to post login handler. And here we are not handling the error. And go ahead and give this variable a name. Let's call it error, ERR. Then remove this OK return, and then open and closing curly braces. And I'm going to copy and paste some code. Then there is nothing new in it, you will understand. Now we have to go to templates.rs file. Just like sign up template, login template will also take flash data, so we can just copy and paste that. Now once that's done, go back to auth.rs file, then go up to the login handler. Then first we have to add session as input argument. Then we have to get the flash data. So call getFlash from helpers. Then pass the flash data. Then again go to post login handler. Then inside the validation error block, we also have to pass flash data. So again get the flash data and pass it. Now we have to go to login.html file. Now just like we added an include directive in signup.html file for flash partial, we will also do the same for login.html file. Then save the change. Then go to your browser Go to login page, then try to log in with the registered email. And you can see we get a invalid credential plus message. Now go to sign up page and create a new account. And you can see we get a success plus message. Now if I log in using the registered email and password, and then try to go to sign up page again. And at this moment we are able to access sign up page even we are a logged in user. Well, we want to let the user access sign up page if the user is already authenticated. Go back to our server, then go to auth.rs file, then go to sign up handler. Before everything, at the beginning of the function, add the if block and check if the user is authenticated. Then redirect to /todos route. Now we have to do this for all auth routes, but we could instead use a middleware to do that. That would be much easier. So get rid of this. Then go to middlewares.rs file. Then at the end create another middleware function. Call it public async function. Let's call it redirect auth user. Now you can name it anything you want, but I couldn't find any better name. And it will take all these three input arguments, so we can just copy that and paste here. Now inside this function, add the same if block to redirect authenticated user to /todos, and then return next middleware function which you are already familiar with. And finally update the return type to response. Now let's go to routes.rs file. Now first we have to import the middleware. And we only want to apply this middleware to /signup and /login. So we have to create a separate function for that, and let's call it auth routes. Again, name is totally up to you. I am not good at naming things. And router, which will be of type app state. Then create a new router, which you already know that nothing new in it. We can cut these two routes and paste here. And at the end, add a middleware layer, and then use POM-fn function and add a reference to redirect auth user. And finally merge that with the main router. Make sure call the function with parentheses at the end. Alright, so save that, and once this server restarts, go back to the browser, reload. And you can see when it reloaded, we are in /todos route. Even if we try to access /signup route from the browser URL, we are redirected to /todos. It's not a big deal, but something I wanted to show you. Now let's move to the next phase of our app, which is the to-dos. So start the server, Ctrl+C, then clear, then create a new migration. Type SQLX. Migrate, add, then the name is the create to-do table. Hit enter. Now inside our migrations folder, a new SQL file is created. Let's open and write code to create to-do table. I'm going to copy and paste the code and then explain. And you can see this is a one-to-many relationship. One user will have multiple to-dos. So it will create a to-do. If it doesn't exist, there is nothing much to explain other than you already know that the ID, which is serial, meaning this will be already incremented, and which is primary key, and task, which is of type text. But the main thing is that the author ID, which is a foreign key, and it's reference to users table, and on delete cascade, which means if the user deletes his account, then all these to-dos that associated with the account will also be deleted. And all of these fields will be not null. Now let's go ahead and run our server, and that will run the migration and create to-do table. Just run. Now go to the terminal. So let's go ahead and check our database. And we can see our to-do table is created. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. Don't forget to watch the next video where we will work on to-dos. If you have any question, then put them in the comment. If you like this video, then give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.